As I turned, I caught the first floor out of the corner of my eye. Because of the cathedral ceilings of that first floor, it seemed much farther away than I'd thought it was. It was then that something strange happened. The ground seemed to spin under me for a moment, bucking and heaving like I was trying to walk on waves of carpeting, not good, firm floor. Or did it really? Was it just a trick of the eye? Either way, I took a step backward as a shadow fell in front of me. But there was no floor beneath that foot stepping backward then, and I was tumbling backwards. Shock cold enough to burn me flooding through my body as, impossibly, I began to fall backwards down the stairs. A hand caught my arm. I hung suspended over the abyss of the air, my back to the emptiness, and in one smooth motion I was pulled back. Saved. The hand was cold, and the body I brushed against, as I was hauled out of the air, felt as if the person had stepped out of a prolonged trip through a walk-in freezer. I looked up at the face of the woman who had saved me, and when I breathed out, I will never forget it. My breath hung suspended in the air between us, like a ghost. She was taller than me, by about a head, and I had to lean back to gaze into her eyes. They were violently blue, a blue that opened me up like a key and lock as she looked down at me, her eyes sharp and dark as her jaw worked, her full lips in a downward curve that my own eyes couldn't help but follow. She wore a ponytail, her cascades of silken white blonde hair gathered tightly at the back of her head and flowing over her right shoulder like frozen water falling. She wore a man's suit, I realized, complete with a navy blue tie smartly pulled snug against her creamy neck. She looked pale and felt so cold as her strong hand gripped my wrist, but it was gentle, too, as if she knew her own strength. I saw all of this in an instant, my eyes following the lines and curves of her like I'd trace my gaze over an extremely fine painting. And, like an extremely fine painting, she began to make my heart beat faster. That was odd. I was never much attracted to random women, even before I dated Anna. Even before Anna... well. But this wasn't just my heart beating faster, my blood moving quicker through me. This was something else. A weightlessness, like being suspended in the air over the staircase again. The coolness of her palm against my skin, a gravity that I seemed to suddenly spin around. When she gazed down into my eyes, she held me there as firmly as if her hands were snug against the small of my back, pressing me to her cool, lean body that wore the suit with such dignity and grace that I couldn't imagine her in anything else.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.